campaigns. We now speak with the UPPZ media director, who is also an aspiring candidate for Mpika constituency under the UPPZ ticket. Mr. Kabungo, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on the Breakfast Show today.
Good morning. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Let's get into this conversation real quick. One of the key things during the campaign period, obviously, are the rallies, and it's a very interesting conversation that we've had from inception of when we started talking about the elections this year and how these campaigns are going to be managed. And one of the issues is that every single time the opposition tried to carry out try to have a rally or some sort of gathering with their members, they would be halted by law enforcement agencies. But with regards to what is happening now, we've seen that the campaign period is finally here. Do you think that it is possible to campaign without involving rallies now?
Thank you very much for that good question. I'll start with there are two things that we are considering. Number one, we are amid this COVID-19. Number two, we are dealing with campaigns. It's so obvious. Look at the president on presidential level. The president can't manage to go door to door countrywide in 90 days. That's impossible. We are talking of 156 constituents, 10 provinces, a lot of districts in the nation, districts which are more than the number of campaign period. So for presidential level, it would be very much impossible for the presidential candidates to go around the country campaign without rallies. If we are holding rallies, we bring a lot of people, the crowds together, then you spread the message. On the other side of the COVID-19, yes, we agree to say we are putting our supporters at stake. Their lives will be at stake because COVID-19 spares no one. It's killing, yes, we understand that. But at the same time, we look at the ruling party. Yesterday, they had the campaign launch at Mlongoshi International Conference Center. We saw the pictures which was there. There was a lot of people, and they were not putting face masks. So whenever we are doing things or we are trying to enforce some laws, we should take the example. If that launch was supposed to be in a closed door, then online, we are going to say, yes, they mean their words. But trust me, where we are going in campaigns, we'll still continue seeing the same photos. If we try to emulate the same way of doing things, we'll be finding ourselves in troubles. But we shall swim the oceans and climb the mountains until our people, they see what we are doing. So if the ruling party is walking their talk, we'll say, yes, it's true. They are saying, but to me, I have seen to some extent, they are trying to limit our access to our people, limit our message to our people, because we can't manage to reach to our people. And we are remaining about 70-something days to 12th August. It's no longer 90 days because campaign started already. So now, look at this period. How are we going to manage without rallies? On the other aspect, whenever they, our supporters, whenever they hear to say, your president is coming in this area, you can't stop them from coming to meet the president. So to some extent, it's not that these opposition political leaders, they would just like to hold that rally, but their supporters, they will come to give solidarity and support to their candidates. So if we look into those aspects, if they say, you are going to be having it, but observe the social distance, we can manage. We can find a very big place where it's open. People will come and listen to your message that you are giving them. So it's a two-way thing. Yes, we are agreeing to say we are putting our supporters' life at stake because COVID-19 is real, yes. But to some extent, look at other countries. Uganda had elections in the time of COVID-19. USA, they had elections in the time of COVID-19. So they should not limit us. What we want is let us also showcase ourselves and give our people the message. If they say we are going to be following the COVID-19 guidelines, no, they should do. The commander-in-chief has instructed the police to say you should not allow them. Are the police going not to allow also the ruling political party? Because we are going to see them, not even in the next 5 days. We will see those gatherings by the ruling party. That's the truth. We should not run away from it.
How do you feel, or how does the opposition feel about the president discouraging rallies and asking law enforcing agencies to implement the law if anyone is found abrogating this SIs? Do you strongly believe that the president just genuinely wants everybody to be safe and sound, or maybe, as everybody is mentioning, this the opposition especially, this could be a political strategy for them to gain mileage?
Yeah. You know, what you should understand, or what you should get from that picture, is that sometimes you may appear to be an angel. In the normal circumstances, you have the agenda behind it. So for the president to say we don't want opposition political parties to be having rallies like they did yesterday, because they did it like they did yesterday, they can say they are angels trying to protect us, the citizens. But to some extent, because they will continue doing it. So if they'll continue doing it, it means they just want to make us not to go anywhere, so that our mileage comes back below their mileage. I can say they are just oppressing us to some extent, because it's not a genuine statement. It was going to be a genuine statement if they were going to implement it themselves. But from the look of things, yesterday itself, they failed to implement. We saw people, one thing is that someone didn't know that I was an aspiring candidate. He came telling me to say, go in the bus. You understand? Go in the bus. Then they said a lot of things. They even promised me the T-shirts and what. I said, no, I can't go there. I'm the aspiring candidate for opposition political party. That's how they went. So it's not that people went there because they wanted, but they came searching for people to go and give solidarity to the president. So if the ruling party has failed to implement what they are saying, it's not possible. It's not possible. It was going to be possible.
So you're saying that you would like to be given the permission to carry out these rallies for as long as they're following through with the COVID-19 health guidelines. But hypothetically speaking, in an event that we see a breakout in terms of cases just within that gathering, is the UPPZ going to be held accountable for such a situation or such an outcome?
In those circumstances, yes. Because it has happened during the gathering, yes, we'll be held accountable.
Then don't you think that the president's sentiments are genuine, because he cares for the well-being of each and every single Zambian out there?
No, caring is not about the words that you are giving. It's like motivation speakers. Caring is about the practical, the example that you are giving to the nation. It's the example of yesterday showing anything pertaining to caring the nation. No, we saw the gathering of people there. So there is nothing like caring. It's just the way of placing us to say, no, you should not reach out to your people, but us, we should be reaching out to the people. Trust me, in the next 2-3 days, we'll see the same photos, the same gatherings. People will not even be putting on face masks, celebrating, chanting, singing songs.
So how do you intend then to hold your campaigns? How do you intend to launch them? Especially seeing your concern is that you did see the Patriotic Front pull in a huge number of people during their launching of their campaign. So how will the UPPZ implement this and not have to involve many individuals as you are launching your campaign?
Okay, so as for the UPPZ, we are having a systematic approach towards our campaign launch, which we'll be having very soon. We are going to issue statement and adverts for our campaign launch. So it will be very much systemic, and we will have it in a different way, in the different manner. When you say we care for the social and health well-being of our people, we should mean it, and we are going to mean it. we are going to show our people to say we care for them, and we are a party that is trying to put the well-being of our people first before our interests. So we've planned to launch our campaign very, very soon, and we've implemented the measures pertaining to the COVID-19, and you will see how it will be, but it will be in a different manner, like not like what we saw. So we want to be a different political party that is doing things in a different way, and make people understand to say we care for them, we are there for them, and we'll be there for them.
Yes. Do you then maybe blame the supporters of these parties for not being able to observe some of these 5 golden rules that have been advised by the Ministry of Health, the medical bodies that have been speaking out on adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines? Do you think that maybe this is not even an issue with our political leaders, but it's also stemming down to the supporters? Because like you said, nobody was wearing face masks during the launch, the PF campaign launch yesterday. So do you believe that this is not an issue with our leaders, because they are also pleading with us to do the right thing, but then we saw pictures yesterday of this huge gathering?
As I said earlier on, someone came convincing me of going there to go and watch the launch. Meaning the leaders were telling to say, go and bring the gatherings. If you look at the buses which we were taking people, some of the buses were coming as far as from Chongwe. I saw a bus from Chongwe coming this side, branded in someone's name. So people were brought outside by their leaders. So we can't blame the supporters who blame first the leaders of their political party, because they wanted to prove to the world that they are still popular on the ground and people still want them. People who come for their solidarity. There is something that they wanted to prove. So it's not the blame that should go to the supporters, but the leaders themselves. I think if you've made arrangements to say we are going to be in an enclosed door where no one will come, will maintain, like what was happening during the nomination of presidency. We saw the social distance inside there, the Mulungushi. So if it was going to be like that, planned then specifically invited guests to come and attend, who say, yes, this is what it was. But it was in the public domain to say, on this day, please come and attend.
Well, the message has been put out there. We've seen even when the ruling party was mentioning that they're going to be launching their campaigns, there was a message there regarding how they're going to follow through with strict COVID-19 health guidelines. So I wouldn't say that they haven't been preaching about it. They have been. Even during the filing of the nominations, like you have mentioned, they're observing social physical distancing. So this is the perfect epitome of them making mention of this is what should follow suit, even from the end of members of the public. So I beg to differ with what you're saying.
Me, what I understand leadership is not about what is coming from our mouth, but what we are implementing on the ground. Sometimes I can say, I have developed Zambia, but is it true that Zambia is developed? What people is seeing, the photos that are coming is what we should trust. So in as much as we can tell our people to say, don't come in media, like I have come on media, I'm addressing our supporters to say, don't come to our campaign launch. We will be observing COVID-19 guidelines. But behind that, behind the scene, we are telling them, no, you should come. Go in the buses. No, we'll release a lot of vehicles. You should board on the vehicles. You should come and show the solidarity. That doesn't mean we are implementing the guidelines. We are just backbiting our people. We are putting their lives at stake for us to show that we are still popular. We are putting our people's life on stake. So it's not about what we are telling the people. We keep on telling you can keep on when you come on the public, you are hiding. It's like you are hiding to be an angel, but behind the scene there is something that was happening.
So you're saying that behind the scenes there's something that the Patriotic Front are doing?
Yes, we saw. Yesterday I was engaged, very much engaged in a lot of program for our party. So I used to move. I in the morning by 8 I was in Karingaringa. In Karingaringa, we saw what was coming, what was there. We saw the buses. I was coming somewhere at the office along the Great East Road. I saw what was going on at the University of Zambia. I was there. I saw what was going on. I went to Matero. I saw what was going on. There was buses coming to Mlungushi.
Wasn't this the same situation with the United Prosperous and Peaceful Zambia Party when your presidential candidate was filing in his nomination? Weren't people gathered to bring in their support for the leader of the party?
What is happening is just the same. And to some extent, we shouldn't even blame each other. We are doing just the same things as the political parties in Zambia. We are doing the same things. We are putting our lives at stake and people's lives at stake. Because we can keep on saying, no, we are observing social distance, we are observing putting face masks. But is it true that that's what we are doing as political parties? It's not the issue that we put a blame on one political party or two political parties, but all the political parties. I think we are being unfair to ourselves, and we are being unfair to our country if we continue with the same issue. If we agree to say, okay, guys from the political parties, let us do this. Let us do as we agree. But if we are moving towards the agreement line, then things won't be, will promote the pandemic in our nation. So it's not the issue that we put on one side to say this is what is happening. It's only becoming a bad thing when one person stands to appear as an angel to say, no, now the law enforcement come in, please oppress anyone you find doing this. But deep down of our hearts, we know, all Zambians, they know to say those things will still be happening even after giving commands. It should still be happening.
Well, lastly, as we conclude, when are we likely to see the UPPZ launch their campaigns, and how will this happen? You've mentioned that you're going to do it in such a systematic manner that will ensure that you're adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines. But just briefly tell us a bit more about that, and has a date been set yet for when you'll be launching your campaigns?
Very soon we'll be launching our campaign, probably next week. We will be launching our campaigns, and we'll do it in a systemic way, of which we'll put up the adverts, and we'll disclose whatsoever we'll be using. But as for now, we are still deliberating on how best we should do it. So we are still planning on how we are going to launch our campaigns, where we are going to do it from, and the time, probably next week, anytime. We are putting up, even maybe today we can disclose the information. We are going to put up everything in the public domain. Otherwise, we are prepared, we are geared, and we are going to do our best. We shall adhere to the COVID-19 guidelines according to the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization to protect our people. But my appeal is even other political party leaders, the political players and other people, let us practice what we speak, because sometimes it's not good just to be given poems. We must be action-oriented leaders than people will just be giving poems. You give a poem, but in the actual sense, you yourself, you know that I won't manage doing this. Yeah.
Mr. Kabungo, thank you so much for joining us on the Breakfast Show today.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Our guest this morning was the United Prosperous and Peaceful Zambia Media Director, SAMUEL Kabungo, joining us to speak all things campaigns amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. You can utilize our Diamond TV Zambia Facebook page, where we have posed a question there. Can political parties campaign without rallies? You have sent in your comments. I'll be reading them shortly. And also the phone lines will be opened up soon, as this is what we'll be getting to discuss. We're still expecting to connect all the way to the eastern part of the country where our correspondent will be joining us remotely via Zoom to get to discuss the election petitions at parliamentary level from there within Chipata Central. So that is something that you can be a part of as well. Keep those comments coming through and keep the conversation going on from our Diamond TV Zambia Facebook page. Our newspaper headlines coming up soon. We take a break. We'll be right back.